Alright, so I'm probably going to cut this intro a little bit short because the whole northeast U.S. is insisting on mixing hot and cold every other day. And so the wind's picking up and probably going to block out a lot of what I say. Right now it's kind of died down, so I had time to do this. This is a Homelite trim and edge with a zip start system on it. Dated manufacture is May of 2001. And I've been using this since 2011, later into the spring of that year. It's worked pretty good, but I'm starting to have this love-hate relationship with it, kind of, where the thing is just, it's a curved shaft, and there's no clutch system, there's no gear reduction, so when you put heavy-duty line on it, it spins at the same RPM as the engine, and it's very deafening. There's plenty of other reasons why I don't really care for this one. It's all cheap and plasticky and stuff, but it's run pretty good over the years that I've used it up until I did a diaphragm on it. The carburetor, it constantly floods when you put it into storage. I've actually recently cleaned it off so it's not as greasy. So today, I'm actually going to just go ahead and switch out to a brand new carburetor just to kind of just hit reset on this whole thing. I'll keep the old carburetor and probably rebuild it as a spare. So I'm gonna breathe some new life into this, and it's gonna remain as my backup since I bought a fairly new one, or not really new, but I bought another one that's a lot better. It's an Echo. So I'm gonna get my other camera on and we'll get right into it. I apologize, my hair might get in the way a couple of times. I'm not wearing a hat today. So I actually replaced an air filter on it already within the month, because the old one, because of all the flooding, it just completely disintegrated. And it was probably the original one anyway. So what I'm slightly concerned about is that the original gasket doesn't match up with what this carburetor came with, so I'm probably just going to reuse the old gasket. It really hasn't failed anyway. I suppose it doesn't matter because there's a port on the top that allows it to run through a channel here. And this end of the carburetor blocks it out. So maybe I will change that. Out with the old and with the new. Alright, good. Fit that right on. And oh, wait a minute. The old gasket's still stuck to the intake, I think. No? No, it just didn't have one. Okay. Alright, whatever. What I like about this carburetor, that it's an aftermarket one, so I don't know how good it's going to be over a long term. The adjustments are both, but I'm able to adjust both of them, whereas I could only adjust the low side on this old one. This is the original Zama carburetor though, so I'll hang on to it. What also came in the kit was a fuel line and filter, so I'm going to be changing those out as well, just so we can get a fresh start on this thing. And a spark plug. The spark plug is this no-name brand, but I think it's supposed to be a clone of an NGK, and normally I don't like using those types of spark plugs. I've had them fail prematurely, at least in Harbor Freight engines and whatnot. Since this spark plug hasn't really failed, I'm just going to keep it as a spare in case the new one fails. And here comes the wind. Just doesn't stop. It's actually been burning pretty good as of late. It's just been flooding a lot. So we're going to hang on to that. And it's a Savior, but it's... oh, Champion. Ah, okay. That's what they used to put on these. Now they're NGK, I think. I've become less of a fan of Homelite to begin with over the past 5 years. I just noticed how cheaply made their stuff is. We're gonna dump this gasoline out and take care of these fuel lines. I actually changed these 5 years ago, but I think it might be okay to do them again. Probably a good thing I was actually changing this line out. So I guess I better make a note to myself that this should probably be done every 5 years anyway. I'll cut the end just like that, and it had one of these springs on it, so I think oh, that's not gonna work. The fuel line I put through here was a larger outer diameter. Well, maybe it will work. And you're gonna be hearing a child playing in the background. I almost put the new line on. That's my niece. That right on. Yeah, it's pretty useless. And then we pull it back through so it just rests on the bottom there. And we're going to cut a slightly generous amount. Right about there. Our primer line, we're just gonna cut like that, poke it through, and that one doesn't have to be cut flush once you put it in. Cut a generous amount, cut it straighter than that. And on it goes. I think I'm going to do a fresh mix of 2-cycle gas before I put more in this. Well, I don't have any more 2-stroke oil right now, and I'm not about to make an hour run to wait in line at Home Depot for it, so we're just going to use what I already have in the can and hope for the best. See, the primer's already working properly now. Lots of air to go through this. Alright, let's see what it does. Wow. Awesome. Alright, I'm calling that a success. What I'll do now is since this flooded before, I'm going to degrease the, because it all ran out through the muffler, and it soaked the crap out of the exhaust, so it's going to smoke a lot if I keep using it. I'm going to try to degrease the muffler, and then I guess that'll be it. I'm gonna end the video here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.